السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. حلال. It's حلال Dutch bro. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وبعد. All praises due to Allah. May Allah's peace and blessings be upon His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Start our day by praying to Allah Azza wa Jal to give us the barakah and the blessing of this day and everything that happens on it, and save us from the evil and wrongdoing of this day and what comes after it. اللهم إنا نسألك خير هذا اليوم وخير ما فيه فتحه ونصره ونوره وبركته وهداه. أصبحنا وأصبح الملك لله والحمد لله لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وعلى كل شيء قدير. أصبحنا على فطرة الإسلام وكلمة الإخلاص على دين نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى ملة أبينا إبراهيم حنيفا مسلما وما كان من المشركين. اللهم إنا أصبحنا منك في نعمة وعافية وستر فأتم علينا نعمتك وعافيتك وسترك في الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم ما أصبح بنا من نعمة أو بأحد من خلقك فمنك وحدك لا شريك لك فلك الحمد ولك الشكر. We continue with the book of Riyadh al-Salihin by Imam al-Nawawi rahimahullah. We are in the section of Al-Ghadabu, باب الغضب إذا انتهكت حرمات الشارع والانتصار لدين الله عز وجل لدين الله تعالى. الغضب يعني anger. طبعا when you say anger here, it does not depict exactly the word غضب يعني anger is always looked at in a negative connotation, right? But in Arabic it is anger for what? يعني غضب له وغضب عليه وغضب منه. Each one of those has a meaning. غضب منه يعني he is not happy with somebody. أنا غضبت منك. You did something, so the غضب here, you cannot say يعني here you say I'm mad at you. صح? But in Arabic يعني I am angry because of what you did, so I'm not angry with you. يعني غضبت منك. منك يعني something came from you that initiated this feeling. It should be very specific, you know. So there is no غضب from you, but it's غضب from what you did. Okay, غضب منه. غضب له يعني I'm angry for you. You know, there's something that is done not right. يعني you are wronged, so غضبت لك. يغضب لله. He said, you know, إذا غضبت تغضب لمن؟ لله. So here, whatever happened, the reason is for Allah. You fahmt? You understand now the anger, it is not just the word anger like that. So why are you angry? What made you angry? Makes the word different. So when I said غضبت لله, now the limitation of my ghadab, the quality of my ghadab will be in accordance to that. You understand? But غضبت لنفسي, that's a problem now. You know, I am angry for myself. Now, is it right or is it wrong? Are you going extra or you're not going extra? That's why they say طلاق الغضبان, يعني the talaq of the person who is having ghadab. When does it go? When is it valid? When it is not valid? See the word? I'm just giving you one word. You see how the word affects everything? But in English you said he's angry. Angry for what? Why are you angry, man? I shouldn't be angry. خلاص. لا, in Arabic, are you angry 10%? Or are you angry 90%? You are angry for Allah? Or you're not angry for Allah? Is your anger authenticated, like valid? Is not valid? مشكلة. But when we say the word غضب, you have to see what is the context. Is that clear now? So when you say the الغضب إذا انتهكت حرمات الله, it's justified غضب. Now it's justified غضب. So when we talk here, we are going to talk about the reason. We are not going to talk to the person, why are you angry? somebody violated, transgressed the limits of Allah in culture of the world now. Oh, you have to be tolerant. You get it? Yes, I am tolerant, but I'm not happy. There's two different things. Because here people say tolerant means accepting. When people say here tolerant means what? Accepting. In certain cases it was okay, but in other cases it's not okay. Okay? I'm not happy when I see two men marrying each other. I'm not happy. And I have to say that. I have to say that. I have to state that. I'm not accepting of this. But do I live with it? Yes. But I live with it as an unhappy person. But that doesn't change anything from the citizenship, from, dealing with people. I have to, but I'm not happy. So هذا غضب. But when you say, oh, I am angry at that, anger, violence, على طول, straightforward, we have a problem now. Am I clear why I'm saying this? So once you say anger, it has a connotation here in English and in the Western culture and everything. When you say, I am not happy with that, خلاص في مشكلة الآن. Why should I be happy at all times? Like, don't I have a right to be unhappy sometimes? Don't I have the right to be intimidated by your action? I have that right. Now, what I do is what you talk to me about. Like, if I make an action that it is not right, then we talk about that. I violated the law. I violated the code of conduct. I violated the morality. Then we can talk about that. But just for me being unhappy with something, that's my God-given right. هذا في الإسلام يعني. Okay, and I can state that, and I can say that. فالغضب إذا انتهكت حرمات الله هذا من الإيمان. يعني to be angry, to be unhappy, and state that is part of your faith. To say this, that's why we tell people all the time, Muslims, Islam and Muslims are always the last line of defense for the morality of humanity. Muslims are always the last line of defense because everything we do is part of our faith in Allah Azza wa Jalla. People, every other religion, they give in. صح? Every other religion accommodate anyone, moral or immoral or whatever it is. يلا تعال. Come, have a bigger number in our place of worship. They give in. They change the whole religion for someone just woke up in the morning on the wrong side of the bed. And they feel that something needs to be changed. So accommodate. But Muslims, no. Islam, no. The religion doesn't belong to me or you. Does it? The religion belongs to who? He is the one who says whom I accept and who is not. Allah says in the Quran, people who do this are cursed. خلاص. It's not my statement. I believe in that. I'm not going to change it for you. I'm not going to take that verse out for you. Now you know why Islam always attacked from where? From inside, not from outside. When it comes to the teachings of Islam and the faith and your core beliefs, nobody can come from outside and attack that. There would be no bigger disaster than the Mughals when they come at Tatari. They came, they wiped everything. But they could not take the faith out of the hearts of the remaining people. People ate the cats and the dogs in the street. Bloodshed was making the Euphrates red. Books turned it to become black because of the ink. They put much books in there to cross on the other side with their horses. Can you understand? Can you fathom the amount of books and literature to be put in a river so the horses can move to the other side? Yet, they did not take the faith out. When we do something, we do it out of what? Faith. So we practice, yes. We are prevented from that practice. It can happen. Can put you in jail and you are prevented from praying, standing or anything like that. You can be prevented. But can they take the faith out of you? The minute you have a chance to practice, you're going to practice right. واضح يا اخوانا? Understood? All these ex-Soviet countries and all of that. If they catch you with the Quran and everything, you will be executed at certain time, The minute It was open, Islam came again. We are not going to say what is the format of practice, but it came very strong and powerful. Why? Because everything is driven by what? Faith. So that's why whenever there is a moral issue, this section, moral issue, the Muslim have a stand. Whether by his Sufi or this or that, doesn't matter. But the minute some transgression happened to the deen of Allah, the least of faith is enough. Is enough. Bring a person who is a Muslim, but doing all types of disobedience. You tell him, are you a Muslim? He said, you know what? You should change your religion. Watch what they say. Even he is not practicing. Not practicing. Tell him, change your religion. And what is kind of religion, man? He said, what? What are you talking about? But you are not practicing Islam. Still, it has to take long time, few generations until that happens. But always, as long as you are holding to your faith, what's going to happen? Anytime the religion is transgressed, you stand it. You understand now, brothers? You get the point? So may Allah make us always firm on that. So basically, the ummah, our community, our Muslim nation is always strong and healthy as long as your heart is pumping this iman. As long as you feel bad when the limits of Allah transgressed, means this ummah is still healthy. When this ummah will not be functioning anymore, when things are happening and they don't care. You do not care. That's why we're mentioning this, that at least show your anger for Allah. It's not for yourself. Remember the last section? The Prophet ﷺ, man chokes him, but he never gets angry for himself. He actually smiles. Ignorant man. He smiles, like if it comes to me, that's fine. I'll give you money, I'll give you everything. But if you transgress the limit of Allah, it is not going to happen. And that has various degrees. He came from the travel. He find the curtain covering, the steps, or something covering, a place on the wall, like a little, what they call it, mishkah hadi, what they call it, that small opening in the wall, that you put a shelf in the wall, a niche, yes. So that niche or something covered. But Rasul ﷺ saw it, and he did not like this tamathil in it, the pictures of life being. And the Nabi ﷺ took it off, and he said that the worst people in the Day of Judgment are the ones who are imitating the creation of Allah. We talked about that last time. وعن عائشة أيضا سيدة عائشة رضي الله عنها, this hadith of today, أن قريشا أهمهم شأن المرأة المخزومية التي سرقت فقالوا من يكلم فيها رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. من يكلم فيها رسول الله؟ قالوا من يجترئ عليه إلا أسامة بن زيد حب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. فكلمه أسامة فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أتشفع في حد من حدود الله تعالى؟ ثم قام فاختطب ثم قال إنما أهلك من كان قبلكم أنهم كانوا إذا سرق فيهم الشريف تركوه وإذا سرق فيهم الضعيف أقاموا عليه الحد وأيم الله لو أن فاطمة بنت محمد سرقت لقطعت يدها. حديث متفق عليه. This hadith is Sayyidah Aisha narrating. She says that Quraysh, and this is when they are in Medina, not in Mecca. Okay? So when they are in Medina, they are in Mecca, not in Mecca. Mecca, there was no Sharia yet, and hudud and all of that. It was not there yet. But here it's talking about the penal code, the punishment, cutting the hand of somebody who stole. This never happened in Mecca. It happened where? Medina. Oh. But Quraysh, why she's saying inna Qurayshan ahammahum? I told you when you're reading the hadith, you have to watch these keywords. This was an issue that bothered the Muhajirin, not Al-Ansar. Quraysh, the people who came from Mecca, migrated in Medina, they were worried or concerned, let's say concerned, أهمهم أمر المرأة المخزومية. There was a woman from Bani Makhzum. Bani Makhzum is one of the clans of Bani Abd Shams, the tribe of Abu Jahl. You know, so there were two tribes, Banu Abd Manaf or Banu Abd Shams. Quraysh in general. This is the two main tribes. They are cousins. Abd Manaf and Abd Shams, they were brothers, right? From Abd Manaf came Abdul Muttalib or Abu Talib, you know, that family where the Prophet ﷺ came from. Abd Shams came all Bani Umayyah and all of that. I just want you to know the history, yani. And they were fighting with each other, yani. Sayyidina Ali, Sayyidina Muawiyah, this is from this too. And then you have Bani Umayyah, Bani Al-Abbas, yani, it is there from the very beginning. And subhanAllah, yani, one of the stories said in the seerah that when they were born, they were twins. Abd Shams or Abd Manaf, and they were stuck with each other. So they separated them, so blood came from both of them. So the person who did that, he said the blood will stay with them until the day of judgment. It will happen like that, yeah. Anyway, whatever, yeah. But this is in the seerah, yeah. It's the books of seerah. Anyway, so Bani Makhzum is from Bani Abd Shams. There was a woman belonging to that tribe. Muslimah, yeah. She accepted Islam and everything. But she had a very bad habit. Instead of stealing, she will come to you and say, I want to borrow your knife, or I want to borrow your pot, or I want to borrow your whatever. Yeah? She takes it, and she does not give it back. And then you ask her, bring me my knife back. She said, what knife? I didn't take anything from you. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, هذه سرقة. Because your intention from the beginning is to take what? To steal from someone. So it's stealing. So when this kept repeating, and now somebody proven that they took that from her. She took that from them. They proved it. That she took that and she denied it. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, he proved it and she could not deny. He said, now your hand will be cut. You have to cut your hand. Khalas? So that is the story. Okay. So now they are going, everybody now in Medina know that such and such a woman, her hand will be, but there is no coming back from that. When Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told the Sahaba and everybody, fix your affairs among yourselves. If it comes to me, then I have to do the rule of Allah. Somebody stole something from you, you forgive them, that's fine. But the minute you come and complain, an investigation done, it's proven, you cannot forgive. Civil right, they call it. You know civil right? Yeah, there are certain things which is a personal right, and there is something called what? Civil right. Yani if it comes to the government, and now they leave it, then everybody is going to go around that. And then people will actually manipulate each other. Once it goes to the government, some people will come and say, you have to give it up. And then they give it up. In Islam, it doesn't work like that. In Islam, once it comes to me as the judge, even if you forgive, I cannot forgive. Except when somebody is killed, like somebody murdered someone. Right? You give their family the right to forgive, or to take money, or to execute. Yani, ruling the execution of somebody who murdered is not in the hand of the judge. It is in the hand of the family. صحيح. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, ومن قتل مظلوما فقد جعلنا لوليه سلطانا فلا يسرف في القتل إنه كان منصورا. يعني we make the family responsible with the blood. So what do you want to do with the family member that who was murdered? You want the person to be executed? We're going to execute him. But you say the word. You want money in return? We're going to give you the money. You want to forgive? It's up to you. But now, if somebody stole something from you, you know. Because that, a person who died, he cannot talk for himself, right? So Allah gave that to the family. But if somebody stole something from you, and then you come to the judge or the Muslim authority, and they found out that this person stole, then you can come and say, I forgive him. He said, no, his hand will be cut. And that actually happened at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One person, he was sleeping, and he put, his mantle, gown or garment or, cloak, he put it So somebody come and took it. Stole it from him and hide it. Then the man found out who took it. You see, until he said, that's mine. And he held him and went to the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ya Rasulullah, he stole mine and this witnesses. Prepare him. Ya Rasulullah, la, 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 I didn't want that. I don't want you to cut his hand. I gave it to him as a gift. He said, no, no, no. That was before you come here. You could have done that before. And you should have done that before. And the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, may Allah curse the thief. يسرق البيضة فتقطع يده. Yani he steals an egg and then he loses his hand. What kind of mentality is this? You lose your hand for an egg or for a garment. You lose your hand that Allah created for you to be part of your body. And that's why in Islam, the uquba or the punishment has to be severe. Why? So people do not commit the crime that the punishment of which is that severe. If the punishment is less, people start calculating. My benefit versus the punishment. You understand? So I can steal a few $1 million and spend 10 years in the jail. That's all right. Well, you know? Oh yeah, 10 years in jail, I'll go exercise and study and have a PhD in jail. Then I go enjoy my $10 million in the Bahamas, you know? Well, calculation, when you estimate things, profit and loss, yes? But if you say that I am going to steal $100 and lose this beautiful hand right here, I think 100 times. I don't want prosthetic or anything, I want to keep my hand. So the punishment is severe. I asked one time a federal judge, a retired federal judge, in one of the interfaith, and she was saying how harsh is Islamic, rules and cutting the hand. I asked her, you spend all your life being a judge, right? What is the main deterrent from a criminal to commit a crime? I asked her that question, what is the deterrent of a, she said the punishment. I said, well, okay, so the law says you will be punished for that crime. I said, okay, what if the punishment is light? She said, lots of people will commit. I said, how do you prevent that? She said, the punishment has to be severe. I said, exactly. Exactly. So the more severe the punishment, the less people are going to do it. She said, oh. I said, yeah. It is just like that, because God is the one who did it. And it happened that she was a Jew. I told her, in the Torah, isn't that the punishment? She said, yes. I said, well, exactly. That's exactly what it is. When the rule comes from God, He knows how we function here, in our head. So the punishment has to be the most extreme. So everybody knows I'm going to be in that category. I'm going to lose my head if I kill somebody. I'm going to lose my hand if I do that. I'm going to be stoned if I commit adultery. I'm going to be lashed if I stay away from that. Do not look how severe is the punishment. Look, what does it do? The severity of that, it saves the whole society. And that's what Allah said in the Quran. وَلَكُمْ فِي الْقِصَاصِ حَيَاةٌ. It gives you life as a jama'ah, as a community. Because everybody thinks, I'm going to be like that. The people who threaten the safety and the stability of the community by drugs or by, what they call it, armed robberies, those, they are not hand cut. No, they will be killed. Yani if somebody does an armed robbery, this hand will not be cut. They will be executed in the worst of ways. And crucified kida, after they executed, crucified kida until everybody sees them. فهذا كان قال الله في القرآن إنما جزاء الذين يحاربون الله ورسوله ويسعون في الأرض فسادا أن يقتلوا أو يصلبوا أو تقطع أيديهم وأرجلهم من خلاف. You are going to do a severe punishment, so everybody think before they threaten the stability of the ummah. That's why in Saudi Arabia, for example, if they catch somebody as a drug dealer, he's executed. Executed, ما فيش كلام يعني. طبعا, how to apply the law and all of that, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the idea. So imagine if you're living in an Islamic state, خلاص. Everybody knows you are going to play with the stability of the Jama'ah, you're done. And you're going to be an example. How many people will think about it? You don't want to be like that, right? فهنا قريش, the Bani Makhzum and Quraysh in general, the tribal thing came in their heart. Even though they are Muslims وكده. So how يعني a woman from Quraysh, عارف Quraysh? For subhanallah it stayed. يعني some things, we are humans, right? The idea is they come back when they are told. I want you to understand that, because sometimes people will go and dig in these things, some flaws or weaknesses or some issues of the Sahaba, and they magnify that. You understand? So one Sahabi said a word out of some bad word or something like this. Sahaba used to have foul language. لا يا أخي. That's not how it is. Sahaba were human beings, right? Like me and you. They set the example for everybody coming after them. So some flaws and some shortcomings has to be committed, right? But why they are better than us? Because the minute they were told what is right and what is wrong, back off, right away. No discussion here. Okay? So that's the difference between. So do not come and say a mistake of a Sahabi and magnify it as me and you, do things. Like me and you do things out of weakness, and we have arrogance, we have ego. When people talk to us, we don't want to be exposed, like stuff like that, We are like this. But they were looking for the haqq, the truth. Whenever they deviate or they do something wrong, they come back right away. They come back right away. And that is why they are the best of mankind, after prophets of Allah. Radiallahu anhum ajma'in. Allah be pleased with them. Even their mistakes, even when they're fighting each other, their intentions were good, right? Their intentions were good. And they committed big mistakes. Adultery happened at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, were punished. Stealing happened at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, and it was punished. People assassinated others and they were punished. So there were crimes committed. Committed from who? From companions, from people who were in the community of the Prophet ﷺ. But they were looking to purify themselves. They would be rather punished in this world than be punished in the hereafter. So, and the Prophet said that anybody committed a crime and he is punished, he is purified from it. They cannot even look down upon them. When a person, his hand is cut because of stealing, and he repented, and he's walking around and says, oh, you stole and I'm not going to do business with you. No. Khalas, it's cleared. That they do fingerprints and everything here. When a crime is done, it's always there in your record. La, if they were punished, it's not in the record. Nobody can even talk to you bad, because they will be punished if they remind you with your crime. That's it. Very clean. Correct? Very clean. We are in the business of rehabilitating human beings, of making them right. We are not in the business of making something hang over their head, a mistake that they did long time ago. We don't do that. As Muslims, we do not do that. They repented, alhamdulillah, repented. You do not even remind them. Even when they were not punished for it. You do not come later and, the Prophet says, you cover it. Just don't. Okay? So they come, meet with each other, said, this woman, her hand will be cut tomorrow. La. Who can talk to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Lighten it up. Make an exemption. هذه امرأة من قريش. That becomes a shame for Quraysh. You understand the tribal mind? A person can do something wrong, but he can get away from it because he's from that elite family. Isn't that what happens in all our cultures now? Yes or no? You find the son of a minister or son of a president or some son of a policeman or something like that, he's going around and doing all the wrong stuff. And when he gets caught, he said, do you know my father? Yes, okay, for release. If a poor kid comes and do the same thing, put in jail. In this country, subhanallah, how many people were put in jail because of marijuana? And now it is legal. Some people actually serving in jail in the same state that it says okay to sell drugs. But some people are in jail serving sentences because they were selling it. Yes? And now other people selling it, and they are like in front of the jail, the other side. So this guy who served 10 years or 15 years, he can go out and open a shop. عجيب والله هذا. صح؟ فإن Islam you cannot change principles like that. You can't. You cannot do like that. If it's something harmful to human being, it is harmful to human being. Okay? But you cannot do it like that. This is a joke. It's a joke, you know? Or all the people who are there, you compensate them. You have to pay them and you have to give them the right. We were wrong 10, 15 years ago to put you in jail because of that, because now it is legal, so we have to compensate you. Or continue, make it illegal. That would have been easier, actually. But here it's the capital, it's the money. Where the money happens, then we can sacrifice morals, we can sacrifice, family, we can sacrifice identity, we can sacrifice anything. 30 years ago, there was a guy, his name is Noam Chomsky. He's a Jew, right? Noam Chomsky, well known in Columbia University, a linguist and a person who was very well known. He mentioned about 30 years ago in a conference in Egypt. I wasn't there. So in an American cultural center there. He said, in the next few decades, he said that, right? Verbatim, in the next few decades, something major is going to happen. How in the commodity, to the commodity, in the market, in the economy, there's something called commodity, right? Commodity is like the coffee, the iPad, the clothing. This is a commodity. And there is capital, which is the money, and there is the person who buys and sells. So there are a human being who are in this side of the transaction, dealing, and in between them there is a commodity and the price. Correct? So here is the capital or the money, and here is the commodity, okay? And in this side, one selling and one buying. He says this will be reversed. How? He said that the capital or the commodity will be a circle, and you are in the middle. As human being, we become the commodity. And he was right. He said when you leave the capital to take over without morals, without principles, without a religion, without something that holds everybody not to transgress, when capital or money becomes the goal in itself, it consumes everybody. You become the product. How? You have an email, right? You bought something from me, I have your email now. I can sell you to another vendor. Correct? So he's buying you. So you are there and you are bombarded by all these things. You end up buying stuff that you actually do not want, but you're brainwashed. So actually all the commodities are going like this around you, like a tsunami, like a hurricane, like a storm, and you are in the middle of it. You get it? And it pulls your hand to grab stuff. And you are sold from here to here to here to here. Example, he said, example, you start with agriculture. Agriculture, right? Before, anybody who were young, 50 years ago, when you go in a farm that have strawberries, what do you smell? Strawberries, right? I used to smell watermelon. You say that to everybody, watermelon doesn't smell, man. What are you talking about? Anybody smelled watermelon before? You see? I'm telling you, like I remember in Egypt, there was like a market for watermelon only. Everybody have watermelon, they bring it. You're gonna smell it from a mile away. There is a smell for the green thing, there is a smell that comes out of it. The cantaloupe, there is a smell that comes out of it. The mango, smell comes out of it. When the intention was for people to consume. When you are the one who's consumed, it does not matter the smell now, it's mass production. Yes? So how to make mass production? Put chemicals and pesticides, right? Because you are the commodity, your health doesn't matter. You see, I want your money, so you are the commodity now, not the product here. So product is just the bait I put to get you. You are the big fish, right? It is not feeding you. I want to catch you. So now I'm going to give you a huge watermelon, but it does not taste good. You're going to get sick. That's agriculture industry. You're going to get sick. So you're going to go where? Where are you going to go when you get sick? That's a medical industry, right? Now, medical industry is set in such a way to do what? To prescribe you medication. So you go to the pharmacology, pharmaceutical. They catch you. Each one catches you. I'm telling you. Agriculture here, they messed you up. You're going to go to the medical thing. They're going to write prescription for you, and you have to do this test and that test, and and the industry is inflating. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? You're going to get lost in all this. It is not somebody who's Hakim will come and say, oh, your eyes look like this, take this herb and you'll be good. That was all time, huh? Drink some jasmine tea and you'll be fine. Wallahi, it was like that, And it works. It works. And then, we have a doctor in Egypt who lived all his life only prescribing the cheapest medication. And he has like a 99.9 rate of people getting healthy. While everybody else is prescribing what? Expensive brand stuff. A doctor will come and say, no, you just need Tylenol or something like that, and go drink some anise seed. Your chest will be fine. Go do this and smell the, and you will be fine. Or he will tell you, this is a course cycle, 1 week and you'll be okay. And actually, after 1 week, you are okay, because he's the doctor. But now, they will go pharmaceutical. And pharmaceutical, mashallah, they get you. They get you very, very well. Type. Did the cycle finish? Now you can talk the medication, and you feel better, yes? Yes? We'll come to you with what now? Health industry. Exercise. Take this pill, supplements, vitamins. Be strong, and all of that. And for the sisters, cosmetics. How you look good, and all of that kind of thing. Now, how you look good, you're going to go back to where? Eating. Agriculture again. Organic. I'm going to go organic only. And when you go organic only, you have a certain set of health issues now, and a certain set of pharmaceutical, and like that. You keep going. So he said that 30 years ago. This man is a genius. I know, because now that is the case. iPhone 15 titanium came from another planet now, right? They tell you like this phone is titanium. It is a space material. What does that do here on Earth, actually? It is a material for the spacecraft. Why? Like, why I have to have in my hand material from space? And they said if that phone comes it goes out and it comes back, it will come back in your hand without being burned or anything. MashaAllah. So if I throw it, it will go to the moon and come back? But people buy that. And there are people who are going to go stand in the line. You order it now and wait 10 days, and you're going to stand in the line to get the iPhone 15. Why? Why? Because you are sold the idea that I have to have the latest technology. Even if they say only latest technology. There is nothing different. But the word latest technology is what you purchase. So you are the product or not. Do you have a mind of your own? Nope. You are already bought. You're already sold. They're going to play with you, whatever. So you are the product will be put in that shelf. No, that shelf. No, that shelf. Put them in the, outside, the exhibit. So we are like that now. May Allah save us, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So anyways, this woman hand will be cut in the morning. So people of Quraysh now come and say, how one of us would be like this? Who can talk to Rasulullah? So they said, and who dares to talk to Rasulullah? Osama ibn Zayd can do it. Osama ibn Zayd is the son of Zayd ibn Haritha, who was the freed slave of the Prophet, who made him his adopted son. Then adoption was cancelled. But Zayd ibn Haritha was so loved by the Prophet ﷺ, like his actually own son. And the son of Zayd ibn Haritha, Osama ibn Zayd, this was like the one who can say anything to the Prophet more than anyone else. So they said, if you want somebody to talk to the Prophet about that woman, there will be who? Osama ibn Zayd. So nobody can dare to tell the Prophet that, because they know that this is big. Now we want to talk to the Prophet about something that Allah said for him to make an exception. just trying. And nobody would dare to do that except Osama ibn Zayd. So they sent Osama. Osama, at that time, 14, 15-year-old, but a man, because he led the army when he was 16, right? So it was someone like not a kid, man. So he goes talk to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Prophet became angry. قال أتشفع في حد من حدود الله? Are you interceding in one of the punishments of Allah? Now I'm not happy. You can talk about me. You can want money, food, this, that. Yeah, no problem. But when it comes to Sharia of Allah, Allah said, whoever does that is punished, no exception. Now you're talking to me to make an exception with the rule of Allah? Osama was very scared. Some of the narrations, he was taken aback, تشفع في حد من حدود الله? Are you, like, really? Seriously? You watch what you're saying. Are you really telling me this? Like that. When somebody tells you, no way, are you actually saying what you're saying? Am I hearing you right? Like this. I'm just giving it to you from different culture perspective. It is like that. أتشفع في حد من حدود الله? Then the Prophet called people. When a prophet wanted to say speech, he will gather everybody. Even those who are in the market were told, come to the masjid. Prophet wanted to say speech. قام فاختطب, طلب الخطبة. He asked, I'm going to give a speech. He gathered everybody and he told him, truly what destroyed the nations before you is making this discrimination. When a person sharif among them, like someone with family and all of that, when he steals, they forgive him, pardon him. But when a person with no status steals, they will punish. So there were nations before you that this rule was there, and they make exemptions. And that's why the Prophet asked the Jews in Medina one time, when one committed zina, committed adultery. He says, what is the punishment in your Torah? They said, we scandal them, and put them on a donkey, cover their face with tar, and they go around that this is the two people committed zina. Scandal, right? And that's it. The Prophet said, no. Read the Torah. So the man put his hand on the Torah, on the page that has that rule, and they read the other page. So Abdullah ibn Salam, when he was the scholar in the Torah and he became Muslim, he said, let him take his hand off. So they found that he has to be stoned if he's married, and same exact rule in Islam. That's why the Prophet ﷺ said. So they told him, why you do that? He asked them, why do you do that? They said, O Muhammad, at all the time, this was the Sharia, and we believe in it, but then it became rampant. It became commonplace. Everybody's doing it, so we lighten it down. So when you lighten it down, it will increase even more. So that's why the Prophet ﷺ said this. When people before you, they make exemption based on status. Then he said, وَأَيْمُ اللَّهِ, by the word of Allah. That's a qasam. Like you said in Urdu, Allah ke qasam. وَأَيْمُ اللَّهِ, by Allah Azza wa Jalla. Like Wallahi, Tallahi, Billahi, وَأَيْمُ اللَّهِ, all the same, right? وَأَيْمُ اللَّهِ, by the names of Allah Azza wa Jalla. If Fatima, the daughter of Muhammad steals, Muhammad would cut her hand. خلاص. Now that's the top. Fatima was, why he mentioned Fatima? The dearest one to his heart, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, Fatima is not happy, I'm not happy. Fatima is, anything happened to her, happens to me. He said, that one, if she violates the rule of Allah, I am the one who's going to make the punishment. So don't talk to me about anybody else. But he topped it, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he told his family, do and work, because this is what's going to save you in the day of judgment. You do not come and say, I am the daughter of the Prophet, I am from the offspring of Prophet, I'm a Sayyid, I am a Sharif, I am this. It's not going to help you. Ya Fatima, اعملي. يا بنت محمد اعملي فإني لا أغني عنك من الله شيئا. يا صفية يا عمة رسول الله اعملي فإني لا أغني عنك من الله شيئا. My aunt, you have to work. I'm not going to help you in the day of judgment if you do not work. So the Prophet disassociated himself from any, what they call it, nepotism. Nepotism in religion. Nepotism, right? Or favoritism to anybody else. Nepotism is like your own children, your own family. It's nepotism. But favoritism, when you favor someone based on a relationship. We have business, so I favor you. We are neighbors, so I favor you. That's favoritism. But nepotism is with your own family members. So no nepotism in the religion, no favoritism in the religion. فهذا هو حديث متفق عليه عند البخاري ومسلم. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among those who listen and follow the best of what they listen to. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa baraka ala sayyidina Muhammad wa alhamdulillah. Anybody have a question or a comment?
You mentioned that if it is steam to cut the hand. I heard of this very
Yes, yes.
They start with the finger or the whole hand?
لا لا هو very good question by the way. لا هو there are lots of discussions among the scholars like which hand should be cut, how far you cut, all of that. So some said you cut the whole hand until the elbows, but the right thing is from the wrist. You do not cut the finger. The whole hand, and it is the right hand that will be cut. Right hand is cut. What if a person steals again? His left foot would be cut. Foot. And then after that, he would be put in jail or anything like that, because the Prophet ﷺ said, I would leave a hand for him to eat and to clean himself. You see, the Prophet is not happy that this is happening, but it has to happen. So you do not cut both hands. So right hand up to the wrist. That is how the hand will be cut. And it cut with one blow of the sword. Right. When the hand would be cut? When a person steals from a protected place. يعني يسرق من حرز. يعني if you leave your wallet on your car's dashboard, your wallet is on your car's dashboard, and somebody broke the window and took it, his hand will not be cut. Then you left it. Right? It's not protected. But if he reaches to your pocket and get the wallet out, his hand will be cut. If he break into your car, open the glove box, and take something from it, his hand will be cut. But if you're not careful and you're exposing things, the hand will not be cut. So it has to be stolen, somebody's property, from a protected area. And from protected. You took the precautions and everything, so now you are guarded by Islam, by the rules of Islam. Anybody violates that, hand will be cut. And also, there is a certain limit, يعني something worth some money. It is not like somebody stole a pen or a pencil or something like that, you cut their hand. يعني the things which is silly and small, you do not cut the hand. But there's a punishment. يعني they can be lashed, they can be put in jail, they can have something, you pay a fine, something like that. But you do not cut the hand except there is a certain limit for it, which is by the law. يعني. And then it has to be from someone's property. Like you are not getting back yours, for example. You took something from me, and then I took it back. You are not going to say he stole it from me? No. So my hand is not going to be cut by returning my stuff, even though it is not good to do it, but you don't cut the hand. And if it is not protected, and you leave something on your Porsche or at open, left something in the open. If you leave your key in the car, and somebody stole the car, his hand will not be cut. But if they hotwire your car and travel, their hand will be cut. You get the idea now?
But there should be some punishment because he stole the car.
Right. I'm saying there is a punishment. He actually can be killed, but we're not talking about cutting the hand. And if a person is threatening the stability of the community by stealing their cars, he can actually be killed and crucified, but the hand will not be cut. And when I say hand is not going to be cut, it does not mean he's off the hook. No punishment. There is a punishment for anybody who steals anything. Yes?
What would be the Islamic punishment of somebody distributing, I'm going to say this subliminally in a very hidden way, but someone distributing explicit videos, if you know what I mean?
Yes. Pornography. Pornography. If somebody doing like that, that is not threatening the stability and the life of people, but it is affecting the morality of people. So based on that, there is something called ta'zir. Ta'zir in fiqh, it starts from lashing them 10 times to executing them, to the execution. فالتعزير يعني يقتل تعزيرا ولا يقتل حدا. يعني this is technicalities in the fiqh, right? So somebody will be executed at the end of the day, but they are executed because this is a prescribed punishment or because it is a punishment to set an example. فهذا معنى التعزير يعني. So تعزير is up to the judge. He say the size of this damage that the crime this person commit, which does not have a prescribed punishment, can be 10 lashes or 5 days in the jail or pay the fine to the people or something like that. Or nafi, expel the person at all times. يعني. Or this will be execution. Right? يعني مثلا if somebody did that, يعني did that thing. So distributing all this material. يعني. So what are they doing here? Are they just targeting a certain group of people? What is the effect on the society since they started doing that? The effect of the society is so huge that people the immorality became commonplace and the zina continued and all of that, then that person would be executed. Right? But if it was something like people do, or it's not affecting the general public, then, would be put in jail, things taken away from them, losing, it's based on that. If there is no prescribed punishment, there is عقوبة التعزير. Remember that.
So, stealing, one of the examples you gave was actual stealing, but in this hadith example, it was embezzlement. Somebody else's property you took as a loan and then you...
It's considered stealing as well. That's why the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, whoever takes something from his brother with the intention not to return it is a thief. في حديث كده يعني. There is a hadith like that. So stealing is not like grabbing something away from you. لا, you giving it to me willingly as a loan, but in my heart, I'm not returning it. That's stealing.
What about the, like when people give loans, somebody doesn't return it?
But you do not know their intention, right? You do not know their intention.
But like they're doing it to a lot of people.
I get it. I understand. First of all, you have to understand that loan is not in the section of business transactions in Islam. It is in the section of pleasing Allah. So the word loan in the West, it's a business transaction. Some people actually selling, this is what they do. The whole banking institution is about that. Taking your money and loaning it to other people, giving you some money, and taking interest from that person and keeping the difference. That's basically the bank. And they are prevented from investing in anything. The bank cannot build houses, the bank cannot have an industry, the bank cannot do anything, selling and buying. Bank cannot do that. They do foreclosures, right? To get their money, but they are not in the business of doing that. Because if they are in the business doing that, that becomes Islamic now. Right? Islamic mudaraba. You give me the money, I do this, we both share the profit. That's good. But the banking system is not to do that, right? So that's number one. The loan is not a business in Islam. Loan is you helping your brother willingly, knowing that you are going to lose. For sure you're going to lose, somehow. If you are not losing because of the time, the money in your hand, it's in his hand in 1 month, that means you lost that money for 1 month. Inflation makes you lose. Him late is making you lose. Giving you payment is making you lose. A possibility for him not returning it, making you lose. So basically you are doing loan for what? For Allah's sake. Knowing that. So I want that to be clear, right? So you are giving someone a loan with the risk that this money is not coming. You have to know that whenever you're giving somebody a loan, that you know there is a risk that this money is not coming. What if this guy dies and his children tell you, I'm not going to pay? Well, khalas. You have to know that. So that's rule number one. Rule number two, that when a person does that to other people, then we warn. We warn others. Be careful on such and such person because he does not return his loans while he is able to. He's just taking the money, spending it, luxury and all of that kind of thing. He's not having the intention to do that. Please do not loan him any money. If you will still do it, it's up to them. Right? So that is the idea. But you cannot say that he's a thief and all of that because you give a loan. You give them a loan to be returned. Right? It is not other commodity. But you're giving them cash now, money. So money here is different. But if he is known a person, that is a person is conning people and all of that, then it is completely stealing. Stealing, right? So like some people, some members of this community actually come and complain from someone that he comes and tells them, I'm going to do this investment and that investment, and took as much as 50,000 or 60,000 from them. And then, you know, when the date comes to I don't have money, but you can take a loan from your credit, another 70,000, and he's going to keep sucking their blood like this. And when that person was faced, he moved from the community. He moved out. And few victims there, yeah. Right? So that's why that becomes a thief now. Right? This is actually a thief. Yani if we are in a state of Islam, his hand will be cut for sure, yani. Or even more than that. Because now he is not borrowing money. He is, you know, deceiving people. Con man, by telling them that I need this money for some refugees and something. It does not go to refugees. Right? Or I need this money as a loan to buy a house or something like that, and the money is returned. Or give me money as an investment. All three the same person is doing. Yani he will get your money somehow. And some people give him thousands of dollars because donations for people in this country or that country. Money did not go or reach. Right? I need money to make the payments for my car or for my house. There are certain segments of the community. You see? So some people, they approach like that because they are charitable people. MashaAllah sits in the fundraising and maps the community. Very well, yani, right? So these people are charitable people. They will give. So ask them for 500,000 like this. Some people, they have the mindset of helping others. I'm stuck with the payment of the car or the payment of the house, they're going to give. And I'm going to return you back. Money does not come back after 1 year or 2 years. Some people, they have business mind. They want to invest. Oh, give me 40,000, 50,000, 25,000. I'm going to give you that return and let's write a contract or whatever. You get the idea, right? So those people here can actually go to all the execution, all the way, because they are threatening the stability of the people. This is now how many families are struggling and suffering because of that. Yeah, you have a question?
What is the meaning of finding something on the street that is of substantial value and of no value?
Yeah. Now, there is a section in fiqh called the Bab al-Luqata. Al-Luqata means the things that you find, يلتقط يعني. You leave it in its place, somebody will take it, right? Now, if you are in Emirates, for example, UAE, and you find something in the ground, leave it. They have cameras all over the place. They have camera in your bathroom. They will find in 1 hour. And I'm telling you because I witnessed, I saw it. So if there is a wallet or there is a key for the Lamborghini and the Lamborghini is standing there, don't dare touch it. Because you touch it, they will come to you. You'll find a policeman meeting you in the next intersection. Right? So if that is the case, alhamdulillah, now we know this problem solved, right? Or يأخذها, it is halal to take it للتعريف, to announce. It's not yours, right? Some now differ. How long does it take to say, I found something, whoever lost something, come to me? Or I found a watch, come say what are the characteristics, I give it to you. Okay? And we used to do that when we were young, you know, you find a pen in the school or something like that. The teacher say, you know, Mamdouh found something, a watch. So if you lost a watch, come give the description, I'll give it to you. So I give to the teacher or the principal, and they do. So if you can give it to the authority and you know that it will be returned or that, there is a lost and found, fine. Now when there is none of the above, and it is very hard, you keep it with you. Some said 1 year, some said 5 years. And then you give it as a sadaqah. You do not take it even. And at the end of the day, it's not yours. It does not become yours. The idea here is, you take it, you do it, substantial value, not substantial value, is not going to become yours. Why are you taking it? Waiting for that person, you know, to do it. I one time, about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, found a big envelope coming in my mail. I opened the envelope and I find very sensitive document belonging to someone in Denver, Colorado, from the Sugar Land, Fort Bend County Court, Fort Bend Court, something like that. يعني stuff which is like خلاص يعني you can take the identity of that person and you can lots of things and things were like hundreds of thousands of dollars documents يعني there are documents that if you have them you own whatever it is something you know, what am I looking at the right thing I show it actually to someone and said Sheikh this is cash يعني those are things like then I found the person name I contacted that person he replied I said you know I have your papers of such and such he said huh I said yeah I don't know how it came to me I am in Houston Texas you are in Denver Colorado but it just came to me somehow he says I really appreciate it I send it to him with express mail FedEx protected everything he received it the next day the man I could not describe for you how scared he was then I sent it for him with a nice gift from me right some stuff nice you know from the store and card and stuff like that something which is nothing and I'm trying to relax him right and send him my card also and all of that 1 week later I found a big box coming this guy have a honey business he sent me his best specimen of honey about 7 or 8 different ones like you know jars and he said this is the least I can do Mr. Mahmoud you know thank you so much and all of this then I replied to him I said this is what our religion says and all of this kind of thing and the khalas story is finished what I'm trying to say is like when something comes to you or you find something your intention is to give it to that person because I want you to have empathy feeling what the person who lost that feels right now a brother came yesterday and he said Sheikh I put my expensive shoes here and I cannot find it I'll tell you something it is always the brother who does not come I swear to Allah it is always the brother who came to attend a conference or to attend a seminar you do not see them here and they come with something and boom somebody actually maybe someone waiting for someone who doesn't come to take it and I told them what should I do there is a camera here and the brother will show you and he showed him whatever but the brother wallahi akhi you can see in his eyes when you lose something of value to you how do you feel I want you to feel that when you find it let alone somebody took it intentionally I'm saying when you find it I want you to feel how bad يعني is they panicking that person is lost something I told him يعني may Allah compensate you with better after he calmed down he said wallahi Sheikh I forgive he told me before he left I told him why you forgive he said maybe that person needed better than me I said hold to that intention hold to that intention may Allah reward you with better but don't regret and inshallah it will come back to you يعني I'm saying that you catch it you hold it you try to announce or give it as a sadaqah at the end if it stays years with you and nobody came Jazakumullah khair Allah reward you don't forget to pray inshallah and we have breakfast waiting for you Assalamu alaikum والله الله المستعان سلام الله brother how are you doing الحمد لله محمد حبيبي ازيك فين يوسف ما جبتش يوسف وعمر ليه يا محمد
هو يوسف لازم يستريح عشان بكره
طيب
جزاك الله خير
ماشي الله يبارك الحمد لله
I'm afraid of these two laws one for the rich one for the poor one for the rich one for the poor